Good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending my session. My name is Christoph Schaak. I am a security or sales engineer at SentinelOne, an EDR and XDR player. I'm here today to talk to you about AI, which is probably a very hip topic today. And I want to explain to you guys how we, as SentinelOne, see the synergy between AI, threat intelligence, threat hunters, their knowledge and expertise, and data lakes. Somewhere you can build a nice solution in there. First off, a safe harbor. Anything I say here could be false. SOC challenges. If we're talking about SOC, security operations centers, not the thing you put in your shoe, there's a few challenges there. We don't have enough people. We have too much data, and there's too much different consoles or systems to keep track of, which makes it difficult to have an efficient SOC. A lot of time is wasted. And that's not good, because that costs a lot of money. And can everybody hear me? Because I can't hear myself, so if it's fine. Good, good, thumbs up. So, things that we see in a SOC, long alert queues. We see that with customers, prospects, with their SOC partners. Alerts go into the SOC system, and it takes a while for those alerts to actually being handled, which is of course a bit of a problem, because the idea is when an alert comes into a SOC system or a SOC service, it is treated as fast as possible and is efficient. Yeah. Complex systems, I told you about, not enough time, so that means that your SOC is just treating alerts and not having enough time to do actual threat hunting, which is too bad, because that's the way you find new stuff, interesting stuff, the more dangerous stuff. And it's also the more challenging things. The challenging things are important, but because it's what keeps your people in the SOC. There's a big talent shortage. There's not enough people to do these kind of threat hunting, to do these kind of techniques. So that's a problem. We don't have enough people, and we cannot easily create more people. So we need to find a way to improve this. For those of you that don't know SentinelOne, this is our platform. I see some customers and prospects in the room who have seen this slide a gazillion times. I'm sorry. Basically, we have lots of solutions on endpoint. That's our most known solution, an EDR solution that protects your endpoints. We do the same on cloud. We do your identity protection, vulnerability management, and we add on some services. We also have a SOC in a box, if you will, a service called Vigilance, and even threat hunting with Watchtower. All of this is interacting with our Singularity platform, which is central management, but also your central data lake collecting all the data, all the logs of all the products of SentinelOne, but also third-party logs. Yeah? With the idea, if I have all my logs in one place, makes it easier to do correlations and find things that are related. An email coming in, passing through the firewall, talking to my endpoint, etc. Yeah. This part is very important. This warrants a whole separate session, but we're not going to go into that. We can take questions later on. All of this can be used with Purple AI. Where does Purple AI come from? SentinelOne is not new to the artificial intelligence play. We've been doing artificial intelligence for more than 10 years now with our EDR product. And just quickly to explain what we do, in your computer, in your endpoint, or your server, or whatever, we have lots of telemetry. Lots of things are happening, even when you're doing nothing on your PC, lots of things are happening. We are taking in all that telemetry. We are correlating all that telemetry. And that telemetry, we correlate in what we call a storyline, a cohesive, logical sequence of events, which we analyze through our AI model to become either malicious or not. Yeah? So if one of those storylines becomes malicious, look at this like a black box of a plane. We have all the events, and to clean it up, we just do the same thing in the other order, and we remove your malicious malware or dangerous attack or whatever. All right? That's basically what we do. This works really, really well. We don't use pattern files. We don't use any static information. We can find new malware with this, because we look at the behavior of your system, not at specific static indicators. Does that make sense? So we know that AI is very powerful and can be very precise. This already helps you with reducing those alert fatigues because we don't give you a gazillion telemetry logs. We give you one storyline, which contains all those logs if you want, but it's not necessary for day-to-day business. All right, you win some time there. So AI, first off, AI we have been using machine learning for a while now. There's two types of machine learning. There is supervised, which uses labels, unsupervised, which doesn't use labels, and there's something in the middle actually, which is using temporary labels. That in and of itself is not that important for this discussion. Know that machine learning can be very, very powerful. Yeah, you give them a lot of samples to a computer and say, look, these are the good samples, these are the bad samples. That's when you label them. Give me, when I give you new samples, the correct answer. Yeah, that's very easily explained, that machine learning. Now, machine learning got better, and we came to generative AI. So highly scaled machine learning systems that teach each other. Yeah? Which opened up a whole other box of Pandora because that led to the large language models. Large language models are a subset of that, which are trained to put it very simply, when you put a word in a phrase, it predicts which word needs to come next. Okay? And apparently that works very, very well to give you human readable text that makes sense. Asterisk, the makes sense part, you need to put in there as well. Okay? Otherwise you get gibberish. But those large language models, you all have heard of OpenAI. You've all been playing with this. You've been making nice little drawings with Darwin or whatever the name is of the DALL-E. Sorry, the art, the AI art. Make me a picture of a half orc. It makes you a picture of a half orc. Amazing. Those LLMs. It would be nice if we would take that power of those LLMs to give your threat hunter the possibility to say, look, show me all the dodgy stuff on that machine. I'm making a very general question here, but that's the idea. Yeah. This can help. This can make SOC actions way easier and help you with resolving tickets. I'll do a little demo later. These are pictures of, it's called a labradoodle apparently. Not sure if it's edible, but next to that there's chicken nuggets. We all know chicken nuggets. We all like chicken nuggets, right? AI can predict correctly if a picture is either a chicken nugget or one of these dogs by about 90% accuracy. Is that good for you guys? Do you think that's a good percentage? No? Why? You don't want to eat a dog. Okay, makes sense. So 90% for some of these applications is fine, yeah? And I'll give you another example, a bit more closer to home. This is my garden. This is my automatic lawnmower, which is using AI and image recognition to see what is grass, what isn't grass, where should I need to cut, where's the children, I should evade hedgehogs, all of that. It's amazing, it's a cool thing. Although on one Tuesday morning, he just decided to say, I'm out of here, guys. Toodles, I'm off. And we found him in the field next door, which admittedly has a lot of grass, but still, he should do my lawn, yeah? So it's not ideal yet. However, we can leverage this, yeah? And we want to apply this to threat hunting. Threat hunting has a certain set of steps, yeah? We choose a type of hunt. We develop a hypothesis. It's actually a bit of the scientific method. We develop a hypothesis, we check this with tests, we do an experimentation, we look at the data. Is my hypothesis correct? We identify, using our hypothesis and the data, if the threat is real. We mitigate the threats, if possible. And then we can ideally convert this to an active rule. So next time we see the same situation, we prevent this. This should be the happy threat hunting cycle that a SOC team does. All right? There's a few steps here that we can very easily give to AI. Purple AI has been designed with these principles in mind. Helpful, should be helpful. It should not be a bother. Yeah, it should not be yet another tool that you don't use because it's not helpful, right? It should be correct. Yeah, 90% chicken McNuggets. I don't want to be 90% sure there's an attack. I want to be 100% sure. Yeah, there's no room for errors there, right? Okay, it's not a scientific, it's not a hospital operation that we're doing here, or brain surgery, but still, in the IT security, it's black and white. It should be good or bad, right? Should be responsive. It should be fast. We don't have the time. We need to do all those alerts, remember? It should be safe, yeah? A lot of those open AI models, you can break them. You can do weird stuff with it. You can jailbreak them and get outside of their boundaries. We want to stop that. We want to keep it safe. Also, we don't want your data being used by those large language models to train their large language models. Yeah? You don't want your company data being out there. That's not what we want. Transparent. It should show you how much time you win. It should show you how it works. Yeah? So that you have a clear understanding of it. Should get adaptive, which is maybe inherent, but still it should get better the more you use it. And finally, comprehensive, not complicated to use at all. The architecture of Purple AI is pretty simple. A user asks a question. Number one, we look semantically for the question in the knowledge base. Our knowledge base, SentinelOne knowledge base. What do we know about this question? Is it a threat actor question? Is it a threat hunting question? How does this work? We create some guard rules against misuse and hallucination. What is hallucination? An AI model wants to give you an answer. Yeah? When it's not 100% sure of the answer, it starts, yeah, like a kid in school, inventing things. And the longer the story goes, the crazier the story becomes. Yeah? If you have kids, you know what I mean. It goes nowhere. We don't want that. We want to be clear. It should be 100% correct. So we need some guardrails against hallucinations. We send that to the large language model and say, look, I'm looking for this. With your knowledge of the SentinelOne query language, create me a query so I can run it on my data to get me the data I want. And this shows that your data is not going to any large language model. Yeah? It's staying inside at SentinelOne, and we're just querying it. Make sense? Everybody's with us now? Yeah? Point 4. Point 5, we execute that query against our data lake. We get that information. We put it back in the agent framework. It gives you a nice response. This is what you're looking for. This is the query that we used. You get the query. It's not a black box. You get the query, so you can change it, save it, whatever. We look if there are some outliers, because those are interesting. And we give you that information back. That's how it works. The AI models are swappable because we don't want to be dependent on one of them, and some of them are better for some things than others, so that's how it works. Make sense? Yeah? Good. Data protection and privacy by design. We do not share your data with the AI backend. Very important. And we stay inside your geo. Also important. So that makes that Purple AI empowers every analyst. It gives him a way to ask natural questions of SentinelOne, and he doesn't need to learn the query language. And the fun fact is, when I'm using this with my customers and my prospects and my partners, when we say you can build extensive queries in SentinelOne to go through your XDR data lake and find information. Yeah, but did you see those queries yet? Those are, well, long and sometimes complicated. And then you suddenly have to do joins and database manipulations because it's data manipulation looking for data. It's not security, really, and we're not really formed for that. Besides, a long time ago at university, I had a course on databases where I did a join. Since then, never used it. So Purple AI gives you that query and says, this is how you make the query. And then you learn, this is how the query works. That makes sense. So this makes that my customers learn from Purple AI how to use the query language, and later on just can do directly in the query language if they want. It accelerates the threat hunting. I'll show you some numbers later on. And it integrates with your workflows. We have a way to share those discussions you have with Purple AI and work on them. Some numbers, which are based on some initial investigation. It's better, faster. One that is important, and that maybe shows more how valuable Purple AI is. Purple AI is the fastest selling product SentinelOne ever released. I cannot share numbers, but they are huge, so that's good. We did an internal challenge. At SentinelOne, we have a guy. His name is hidden, but his name is Joel. He's a Power Query guru. He can write queries, extensively difficult, time-spanning queries, which are amazing to see. He gives us workshops, and we're always totally lost because he's way out there with those queries. We set him against 6 other people doing a threat hunt workshop, which we do with customers and partners if you want. If you want to participate, we can organize this. It's very fun. It's a capture the flag style game. The first 6 people could use Purple AI to create the queries. Joel did not. Joel had to do it the old-fashioned way and create the queries himself. While Joe put up a huge fight, because he's impressive, he lost. And he had to admit, yeah, Purple AI really is the way to make queries. Make the query initially, and maybe a human can then adapt it, make it a bit better, that's fine. But this shows that it works very well, okay? Do you guys want to see a little demo? Yes, no, maybe? Yes? Okay. So this is our interface of our data lake, and there's a little button up there that says Purple AI. That's what we're talking about. And now we hope we haven't logged out yet. There we go. So Purple AI gives you a few example subjects to look for. So if you, on a Monday morning, have no idea what to look for, we give you some ideas, some bespoke threat hunting ideas. Okay? So that gets you started. Now, imagine I've been reading a blog post, yeah, of SentinelOne, of course. And I see that event view tampering, you know, playing around with the Windows event log, it's usually an indication of something bad going on. So I want to see, okay, and I'm typing with one hand here, so bang. So I'm asking Purple AI, find me event view tampering events, indicators, and link these to the user performing it and group it. Yeah, it makes me a little query saying event type, behavioral indicators, indicator name, event view tampering, group by user. Yeah, and we very quickly see that okay, the system user, that's not that weird that it's doing something with the event view logs. That's pretty normal. But Jean-Luc doing 3,555 manipulations of your Windows event logs, that sounds fishy. That sounds fishy, yeah. So Purple AI gives us the query. It gives us the result, which you can then put in a pie chart or a bar chart if you like pie. It gives you a summary saying, look, we see, based on the results, that Jean-Luc is doing some weird stuff. You should investigate this. Even better, he gives you some follow-up questions. Look, based on what you asked me, it might be useful to look for the following things. Yeah. Of course, we're a bit stubborn, so we ask other things. We want to know where Jean-Luc has been doing this. Yeah, we want to know where did he log in, so that we can see how important those servers were. Yeah. So we do show logins by the user Jean-Luc. Show me all the logins by user Jean-Luc and group this by computer name. Which computer has probably been manipulated by Jean-Luc? We all know who Jean-Luc is, the best captain in Star Trek. Yeah? No Kirk lovers here. Huh. That's always fun with live demos, eh? Let me go to my backup. So, what he should be doing is giving me a list of computers where Jean-Luc has been logging in. And we see that the Borg computers are heavily used. This is also the summary that Purple AI will give me, saying, look, Jean-Luc has logged into various computers, and we show a consistent pattern of logging into the Borg. So that's a problem. Next question I would like to ask is, show me the detailed indicators. What else has Jean-Luc been doing on the Borg systems? Yeah? And it's a set of domain controllers, so I just want everything. It gives me 1,000 results. And the previous questions were short answers, yeah, but when you get lots of information back, we get back to the problem of the initial SOC. We have so many alerts and so many information. Where do we go look? Yeah. So you can ask follow-up questions, or what you can also do is we see some registry value modified. We can click on individual log lines. Also, something that a SOC analyst sometimes needs to do, or often, is summarize what's going on. And it says, look, there's been some suspicious activity. There's been some things happening. Registry value changed. We see multiple events, etc. It's writing you a 2-paragraph summary of this one log line, correlated with all the rest. Yeah, way faster than anybody else can do it. This again will help your SOC analyst, and all the details are below, and you can query those if you want. And now for the kicker, and this I love. Summarize this conversation in an email to management, because a good admin is a lazy admin. There you go, email written. All you need to do is change some names, and off you go. Very easy. Now, another nice feature that we have to integrate this with your colleagues is a Purple AI conversation is always locked in time. Any research, any threat hunt is locked in time. It's at a certain time you do something. When you do it 2 weeks later, you get other results, yeah, which is normal. But sometimes you want to discuss those results from 2 weeks ago. So those conversations, we keep them in what we call a notebook. And that notebook, as you can see to the left, you can share it with your colleagues and say, look, this was an interesting hunt. I'm going to share it with Thomas, and Thomas will investigate further on Wednesday, on my day off, for example. Yeah, it gives you the queries, gives you the results, gives you all the follow-up questions. Was that clear? Any questions on this? Nope. Then let's go back to the slides. So, quick starts, we talked about this. These are the initial homepage of Purple AI, giving you some ideas of, am I being targeted by Fin17? Am I under attack by this threat actor? Can you tell me something about this threat actor? Those questions, for example, are very knowledge base focused, and those we can get from the SentinelOne knowledge base, run it through an LLM and give you some interesting information on those threat hunters, right? Natural language translation. This is a very complicated query based on a very simple question. Fin11 in my environment, it gives you a full query. You don't have to make it yourself. Very, very handy. Saves you a lot of time. Yeah. And it gives you answers back, summaries in natural language. Yeah. Gives you some suggestions. We do the query, get the answers, and we, based on what we get back from answers, we give you some suggested answers, some suggested questions to follow up. You're not forced to use these, but these can help you in your investigation. Yeah. All of this is grouped in notebooks, and those notebooks can be shared with your team. Now, what's next? When you're doing automatic questions, why not do the investigation automatically as well? So automated investigations, automated threat hunts are coming. We're also gonna introduce Purple AI for your configuration assistant. So how do I configure this on the SentinelOne console? SentinelOne is a very easy product to use, but still, sometimes you might have questions on configuration, and we can help you there. All right? And SecOps Assistance is the next level of helping your analysts going through a threat hunt step by step. To summarize, lightning fast queries, we get some hunting quick starts to get you started. It's using natural language, using notebooks. Notebooks helps you to organize those conversations with Purple AI. This is not a chatbot. Yeah, this is really something to help you with threat hunting. I hope you saw that during the demo. The query supports OCSF data. So going back to my initial slides about the data lake, we are importing third-party data and formatting it to OCSF data, which is an open standard on cybersecurity format. At the moment, SentinelOne data and Okta data, but later on we will do third-party data as Purple AI as well, making it easier for you to go through all those logs that you get in from your different products. Yeah. We get 1 year retention for hunting, and it's very efficient and easy to use, as I hope you've seen during the demo. That's it on the subject of Purple AI, helping your analysts be faster and be more efficient. If you want to know more about SentinelOne, because we have many topics, our cloud native security, for example, is a very hot topic. Soon, in September, in Breda, we are doing our OneConnect event. If this would be interesting to you to spend the time with SentinelOne experts, spend some time with your peers, do roundtables, let us know, and we might get you an invitation for this. All right? This is where my sales colleagues are for. They're all wearing a white t-shirt with a SentinelOne logo. I'm undercover. Okay? Any questions? Anyone hungry? There's ice cream outside, so. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.